Welcome to the Picky Old Gamer podcast. Follow us on Apple, Google, Podbean, and Amazon. Here is your host, Picky Old Gamer.
Hey everybody, Picky Old Gamer here, and I apologize for not recording as much as I wanted to. Work has been really busy, the daughter's in band camp, and life, and I'm not trying to make as many of these podcasts, I was going to say videos, as I want to, but I do have some lined up, and I'm recording two. There's one going to drop today, and I'm going to go ahead and record the next one here in a few minutes and schedule it for tomorrow. And I got some other stuff I want to talk about. If you do have some information or stuff you want me to talk about, I'm going to talk also about the Joy-Con drift thing. It's something that's affected me. You can watch an earlier YouTube video. And that YouTube video, I fixed it because I said Nintendo, and it seems like it's still an issue. Except maybe not for the new Zelda Joy-Con, so that's another thing. And I was going to talk about a new game called Stray. It's coming out. But what I've been really kind of pondering is what I want to go for later on in gaming. Right now I have a PS4, one of my main consoles. My Switch is my other one. And I have an Xbox One. I don't play it. I just don't. It's not turned on. The only reason I don't trade it in is it lets me play my old games. To be honest, even though I don't like Microsoft's stance, and I have pissed off the fanboys and they've attacked my channel. If the Series S had a disc drive in it, I would actually think about picking up one, and that would be a smaller bridge into next gen to play some of these next gen games at a higher resolution, but I wouldn't lose all my Xbox stuff. And of course, Microsoft didn't do that. They want to have the 500 Series X or a PC. And then on the other side, you got Sony's hard to find as well, or even harder to find PS5, and it's $500 entry point, which you don't get some of the stuff that Microsoft now has purchased with Bethesda. But looking at both of them, it's become apparent with all the delays, and I thought about making a whole topic about the delays, and there's not enough about it, but it's like looking at next generation, or now, which is now your current generation. I don't see the need for a new Xbox or a PS5 or a new console. Yeah, when I pissed off the fanboys, I was really heavily supporting what Sony was trying to do with the PS5. It's still going to be purchased in my house later on. I want Sony's exclusives, but guess what? You don't need a PlayStation 5 to play the newest games. Back 4 Blood, I've already done one whole campaign through it in the beta on my PS4. Guess what? It freaking runs great. It looks great. It plays great. It probably plays even better on the next gen consoles and PC. Then you got a war game. You don't need a PS5. That's what I'm looking forward to this next year. You don't need it. And now these games like for Horizon Forbidden West that you need a PlayStation for, you don't need a PS5, and also they're delayed. So once again, do you need a freaking next-gen console? No, not everybody does. Now, on the Xbox side, you're like, well, I have the Series S and I love it. Great. Because you're getting a next-gen experience, a little lower power, but still you can push things like Cyberpunk up there and better detail and get all the new games and run just as good and play the old games. Or, of course, go to the Series X and you do that. But, again, there's not much. And I'll say not much because, things like the Medium, which is also coming out on the PS5, really does scream to me, buy a $500 console. And this has been my kicker. I have played games since I was a kid, playing the Atari 2600, then the NES, Super NES, Game Boy. I didn't have any Sega consoles to Dreamcast, and I got a PlayStation. I went ahead and bought a used N64 later on just to play Zelda and a few games. I did not like the Nintendo 64. The PlayStation was better. The Dreamcast was a fabulous system that died too early due to Sega's stupidity, but I loved it. I only owned one Sega console, and that was it. It died. And then later on, I bounced around. I had an Xbox. I had a GameCube as well. I couldn't figure out what I was doing. I was like these stupid fanboys nowadays. I thought I had to find a camp to be in, and I should have just kept the Xbox and GameCube running at all times. And just I lived at home with my parents. I worked, but also was paying for college, and I had extra money to blow. And I should have just used some common sense. But I didn't get a PS2. I kind of wish I did. And then later on the 360, and then I ignored Sony until the PS4 because Microsoft's, to me, their downfall, or started their downfall from 2013 on. And here we are. The next generation of consoles is here. Things like the pandemic has happened. It's hard to get a hold of anything. And, well, I don't give a damn about the next generation consoles. Either one. Sony's lies and manipulation to tell us that you need a PS5 to play all these games has really showed me that whether it's Xbox or Sony, whichever side I usually pick in that, because like I said before then, I was an Xbox fan. I went straight Xbox after the PlayStation 1, and I was an Xbox fanboy. I've told people this. The fools who came to my channel to attack me saying that I was a fanboy of Sony, I may have sounded like it. I was really supporting them because Microsoft fell and never recuperated from 2013. That Xbox 360 is one of my top 3 consoles. Yeah, I need to do that podcast. My top 3 consoles are the Super Nintendo, the PlayStation 1, and the Xbox 360. Yeah, call me a Sony pony, you morons, because only the PS1 is only Sony's console in the top 3, and it's because it's so revolutionary, and the 360 was revolutionary. But now I don't feel like past the PS4 that consoles are really giving me the option to do everything I really want to do, because they're too busy doing one thing that makes me want to go back to PC gaming and it's a good thing, I guess, because look at games now. Games do not have to be super technical. They only look a little different. You can still play stuff on these Xbox One, 1S, and 1X, but they're just differences. The PS4 is still getting all these games. We don't see much past like Ratchet and Clank, and maybe like the Medium, which are next-gen games that make you push that. But then at the same time, it helps people on gaming platforms such as the Steam, Steam. It lets people not have to build the latest and greatest PC. If you look at the statistics, and I'm actually going to pull them up and type in here. Gaming player statistics on Steam. All you have to do is search Steam statistics. Okay? Or let's pull up hardware statistics while I am doing this. Apologize, I didn't have this pulled up. Steam hardware and software survey. I'm looking at this, and most people, 45%, have 16 gigs of memory. They don't have 32 gigs of memory on their PC. One of the biggest and primary resolutions out there, do you know what the primary resolution is? Display resolution is 1080p. So the big, video cards, let's look at this. The big, they're spread out all over the place. But one of the top ones is a 1060, what I got in this. And down to the 1600s to 2000s, people are not pushing the top, 30 or 40% of all of them out there are not running high-end stuff. Why? They don't want to. They don't want to. Let me say that again. They don't want to. They don't want to blow their money. People are gaming on Steam at lower resolutions, lower specs, and of course not getting the highest end stuff. I mean, you look over here, there are, GTX 3000s out there. I know that the second multi-monitor display, 70% of people are pushing a 4K. But how many people are really playing in multi-mode monitor? If you're a PC gamer that doesn't want to try to push the top end, you're going to play with one monitor, and it's showing us 67% of people are playing at 1080p. This makes me realize that people are just wanting to game. That is why, and I'm going to make a separate podcast here in a few about the Steam Deck. Everybody's like, it's not going to do it. Some people are just like, hate this. There was this video, which unfortunately the guy got tore up by everybody, including those that like to attack. That's all they do is attack, but he was a Nintendo guy, and he really hated on the Steam Deck, and I'm like, well, that's your opinion. I'm not going to bash him. I'm not going to mention his name. I don't stoop to that level. But, if people love the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch has outsold the Xbox 360 and the PS3, and it's running on many-year-old hardware at 720p in most times. Guess what? people don't give a damn about specs or resolution. As long as the game looks good, plays good, and it's fun, that's why people are playing Witcher 3 on the Switch. Doom Eternal on the Switch. Because they don't care. So now I am sitting here wondering, why do I need to even worry about getting into Sony's camp or Microsoft's camp when Steam OS, which is evolving, has all the games out there, and I could take this PC right now, take it upstairs, plug it into my TV, go to Target or Walmart, get me a nice, decent Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, I can set my recliner and play games, or in Bluetooth one of the mini Xbox One controllers we got. Steam's big picture mode works fine. A lot of games out there, they work great with controllers because they're meant to. Everything is now so similar, and you can thank the consoles for this. The consoles now have 2 generations of x86 hardware. The consoles are lower end PCs, just custom built with an APU, and that's where the Steam Deck comes in as well. And that's going to be another topic, but nothing makes me want a PS5. Nothing makes me want to get a Xbox Series X because I realized they're just PCs. The Xbox series of new consoles are just PCs, and they're great for if you love it. I am not bashing you. Have fun with that machine. I have a Ryzen 7 8-core in this sucker, 16 gigs of memory, which I probably could push a little higher end bandwidth, and a GTX 1060. Well, I could put a better, 1600 or so card, but that's what a lot of people are playing on Steam. And guess what? I could probably run every game out there, maybe barring like say Cyberpunk, that's just crap programming, at 1080p. Now, if I go ahead and took this machine, went up there, I would buy me a new machine, a small machine off eBay, something refurbished. ETA Prime does it all the time to show you how a nice little gaming rig. I could put something down here, move my drive for all my Pickio Gamer stuff and my other projects, and I could just do video recording and audio recording and geeky stuff. I could take this tower up there, maybe move stuff off to an NVMe, drop sometime later on next year a 2000 GTX card in there. I could DLSS games at 1080p all day long and get performance that would be way comparable, if not even better than a console. Now, no, I wouldn't probably, with what I'm trying to build, get a 4K gaming rig, but I don't care. As you see, a lot of people do not care about 4K gaming on Steam statistics. You don't believe me? I don't. That's fine. All you got to do is go find Steam hardware and software statistics or survey, July 2021, scroll down. The main monitor display is 1080p. Secondary looks to be 4K. Well, 3840 by 1080. That's odd. That's not really 4K. I mean, people a lot of times game on one monitor, and they're gaming mostly at 1080p because they don't care. So now the thing I have got to come to terms with, and I talked to my wife, which she just is like, we love gaming on the Switches. We love trying to play some other games, and she just was like, you don't need a PS5 right now. It's got bugs. And the bugs. Sony has made it to where I don't even want to pick the thing up with the bugs they still have with the storage and the sleep. Sony has, I'm done. I maybe did get a little fanboyish, and maybe the other YouTubers pointed that out. Maybe so. Maybe they were right. Of course, some of these YouTubers, that's all they can do is attack somebody. So, the way they did it was stupid, but maybe they were right in part of it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't trust any company. I don't trust Nintendo. I don't trust Microsoft. I don't trust Sony. They're liars. They're all liars. Why is Nintendo halfway doing the Zelda 35th anniversary and then they say, we're not going to bring out a Switch. Oh, we brought out an older version. Okay, great. That was okay. Where's the new one that I know is there because they're mad at Bloomberg releasing information. Oh, they don't want to talk about it. Why did Sony go up there and try to hype getting into the PS5, how much better it was than the Series X? With exclusives, oh, wait, sure, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, they're going to the PS4 as well. And, Microsoft really didn't do anything more than they went a direction that I don't like and became a service, but I give Microsoft credit. They're more honest than other people. They went as a service. Halo Infinite's going to be available across everything, and all those stuff is going to be available off all these Xboxes or through Game Pass, through cloud or PC. So right now, me moving into next-gen gaming is pretty much looking like I'm going to go PC. And yes, to lead into my next discussion, I have pre-bought a mid-level Steam Deck. So this is my thoughts about moving into next gen. I mean, if you're a Sony pony, you get mad, you'll get over it. If you're an Xbot, you'll get over it. You want to quote my stuff? I don't care. Both consoles, to me, are not proving to be worth moving into next gen right now. And now, other than waiting many years to get a PS5 and get those massive exclusives, which are going to be good on Sony, I can do everything I want on a PC. Or a Steam Deck. Hint, hint. The Steam Deck is a little different. I'll have to talk about that. So let me know what you think. Is the new next-gen consoles really even pulling you in? Or are you wanting to move over to PC? Have you been on PC like my buddy Geeks with Cash? And he's like, that's where he games mostly. Sony and Microsoft have not really made me want to stay console gamers. And it's sad. Because I do like console gaming. But thanks to consoles, PCs are coming very easy to get into again, and they're not a race to get to the latest hardware. Games cannot run on the latest and greatest hardware because, consoles are demanding that they be accessible, and, that's kind of good. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I do appreciate you watching, and, then I'll see you in the next discussion about Steam Deck. All right, everybody. Big Hill Gamer, out.